The PSVR2 launch day games list is decent, but let's be honest, most of those games we've either played on other headsets or they just really aren't bringing anything new to the table. So I've compiled a list of the most anticipated games that have been announced that will be available to play on the PSVR2. This list is going from the newest release date all the way down to the ones that we do not know a confirmed release date for yet. Horizon Call of the Mountain. This one is, of course, the main launch title for the PSVR2, and it is a spin-off story of the Horizon series, which has gotten lots of praise over the years. I've never actually played the Horizon games before, but based off of what I've seen from the Call of the Mountain gameplay and the trailers, it looks like it's going to be a really fun game to showcase how great games can look on the PSVR2, along with some of the new features of this new headset. The game's story follows Ryas, a former Shadow Karja rebel who is sentenced to atone for his crimes by joining an expedition sent to investigate a new threat to the Sundom. Hello Neighbor Search and Rescue. Based off of the very well-known stealth horror game Hello Neighbor Search and Rescue takes the intense gameplay up a notch in VR. You must sneak around to save your friend while not being caught by Mr. Peterson. You're able to switch between characters to outsmart the AI. Each unique character has their own key item and skills. This game will be filled with lots of tense scenarios and difficult puzzles to solve in order to succeed. I don't really expect this game to showcase any unique features of the PSVR2, I just expect it to be a really solid horror puzzle game. Switchback VR. Mostly known as Rush of Blood 2, Switchback VR is a horror roller coaster shooter game, and it looks to be the perfect game to scare the shit out of yourself and your friends. We know this game will be utilizing the blink detection feature of the PSVR2 headsets in at least one level, but I do hope that they make use of more of the unique features from the PSVR2 just to push it to its max. Rush of Blood 1 was a great VR title on the PSVR 1, and I have absolutely no doubt that this game will bring everything up a notch. This game was originally slated to be released on launch day for the PSVR2, but since has been delayed to March 16th to make sure everything is well polished, but I'm sure everyone will be okay with that since that means that we will have a better game in the end. The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners Retribution. Yes, this game came out on the Quest 2 back in December of 2022, but the graphics on the Quest 2 do not do the game any justice since the Quest 2 is just so limited in what it can show. So I've included this game on the list since we'll finally be able to see how beautiful this game can actually look in VR with enough power. Retribution is a continuation of the first Saints and Sinners game where you're in a zombie-infested New Orleans, but now you're being hunted by the seemingly unstoppable Axeman and facing off against the tower's latest push for total dominance. Discover what connects these two threats together before it's too late. Ghostbusters Rise of the Ghost Lord. This has been a highly anticipated game since it was announced at the 2022 Game Awards. You must team up with your friends to run your own Ghostbusters HQ in San Francisco and unravel a rich mystery in a new chapter of the Ghostbusters universe. You'll wield iconic equipment as you track, blast, and trap ghosts in. This one looks like it'll be a lot of fun to play with friends, and especially if you're a fan of the Ghostbusters series, this is definitely something that you have to check out. Crossfire Sierra Squad. You are the leader of an elite fire team in the middle of a war over a top-secret biochemical weapon that has been recently discovered. Crossfire Sierra Squad will have you fighting a seamlessly endless enemy force with high AI intelligence. This looks to be a fun, fast-paced first-person shooter game that will just get your testosterone pumping through the roof as you shoot your way through everything that you can. Ghosts of Tabor. Now onto the other spectrum of FPS games comes what everyone seems to be calling the Escape from Tarkov for VR. Ghosts of Tabor is a hardcore grounded survival FPS that will allow you to team up with your friends to scavenge, complete scenarios, and survive. From what we've seen, this game looks to be filling a gap in VR that has been missing for quite a while now, and I'm extremely excited for it. If grounded shooters are your thing, Ghosts of Tabor is definitely one that you should check out. It releases on the PCVR and the Quest 2 in March of 2023, and it's set to release on the PSVR2 in Q3 of 2023. Firewall Ultra. This is the long-awaited sequel to one of the biggest games for the PSVR 1, Firewall 0 Hour. Now, we haven't gotten much information on this game other than a couple little snippets of clips from the PSVR announcement trailer. Now, we can expect the main premise of the game to be very similar to the original game on the PSVR 1, but just hopefully everything looks so much better and hopefully there is just so much more content for everyone to do. If you like competitive shooters and things like Rainbow Six Siege and those types of games, this is definitely a game that you'll enjoy a lot. Lo-Fi. This game has been in development for years and seems to finally be having some release in 2023. Lo-Fi is a massive open-world sandbox game set in a cyberpunk world. This game has a big emphasis on vast exploration and a character-driven story. From what we've seen so far, this game looks to be one of the largest VR games that we have ever seen. If you're a fan of cyberpunk themes like me, this game is definitely something that will grasp you in and hold you for hours on end if it's anything as good as the trailers look. This doesn't seem to be a regular open-world game game, as a description for the game on Steam states it's more akin to a holodeck program than a traditional game. The massive open world has a lot to do, but it's up to you as the player to do whatever you want, and this is a completely non-linear world. All of that right there makes me so much more excited for this game when it comes out, hopefully in 2023. And to finish off the list, Behemoth. This is made by Skydance Interactive, the same creators of the Walking Dead Saints and Sinners games. Behemoth looks to be set in a sort of dark Norse fantasy world where you must explore a plague-ravished wasteland from a once glorious empire where its inhabitants are driven mad and the cities have fallen to ruin. We haven't seen any official gameplay for this yet, only a cinematic trailer, but based off of Saints and Sinners, we can at least expect this game and the combat to just feel very good and very challenging. That's a list of all of the biggest upcoming PSVR2 games that we know of so far. What are your favorite games on this list? Let me know in the comments below. If you want to learn all of the specs and the unique features about the PSVR2 headset, click the video on your screen right now. If you want to keep up to date on all things PSVR2 related, be sure to subscribe. That is it for me. Bye-bye.